Today we start the 40-day countdown to Zimbabwe's historic 40th Independence Celebrations Day.
Now this year the celebrations will be held in the city of Bulawayo, running under the theme A Decade Towards Defining 2030.
Indeed, Zimbabwe, it's a beautiful evening. It's always a pleasure to be in the comfort of your homes. Tonight I am Lee Ann Bernard, broadcasting to you live the Sunday edition.
My name is Zandile Ndlovu. Really excited to be in your homes today, and it is International Women's Day, hashtag Each for Equal, and we're really excited for you. I hope you treated all the beautiful ladies in your life to something special, to a beautiful day.
Indeed, and now we take a look at the stories that are making the headlines.
In the stories that are making the headlines tonight, Zimbabwe to receive increased supplies of medicines from India. Now in our business segment, government to consider various models on the proposed NRZ unbundling. In sport news, Warriors forward Tinutenda Kadewere on target in France.
Indeed, and in some of the stories to look forward to tonight in our science and technology feature, we seem to be getting a lot of innovative projects coming out of Chitungwiza. This time, a student has invented a solar cooker. Be sure not to miss the video of the week, but first, the main news with Sondile.
In our top story, Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage Ministry says the approval of the use of foreign currency in accessing passports is indicative of the government's commitment to deal with the passport backlog. We get more details from Kudzai Gumbo.
The Registrar General's office has been facing serious backlog due to lack of foreign currency to buy consumables for passports. Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage Minister Honorable Kazembe says the latest enabling legislation will see those with free funds managing to pay for their passports in foreign currency, adding that this will contribute towards reduction of backlog.
We received a number of requests, numerous requests from people at the time when we allowed diasporans to pay for their express passports in foreign currency. Locals also requested that they be considered for such a facility, especially those with free funds. So unfortunately, we couldn't have allowed it then because the law did not allow it. So we had to take it to Cabinet, and Cabinet approved of that request that those with free funds should be able to access express passports after paying foreign currency. So we are excited that finally the SI is out and those with free funds can now enjoy the same benefits that diasporans are enjoying.
Some people were happy with the development, while others were of the opinion that only local currency must be the sole legal tender.
Toda kungoti kana tichitora ngavangotitoresa nemabhondi edu atiri kushandisa muno sokuti US yacho isu hapana kwatinoiwana.
Actually, I don't think there's a problem at this moment because actually it's better to have a passport. Even if you lose it, you can access it using foreign currency. Can I ready available? I'm sure it's good for some people who are going outside to buy things, cell phones, so they can sustain their lives. I'm sure for now it's a business thing that most people have passport only for business purposes. So can I foreign currency? I'm sure it's okay. Minister
Kazembe clarified the use of foreign currency is optional and emphasized that the development is a sign that government listens to citizens.
It also shows that His Excellency the President is a listening president and his cabinet is a listening cabinet. People raised the issues, they requested that they be allowed to pay in foreign currency and cabinet approved of it. And by the way, laws are made by people for people. So should there be a need to change the laws to suit what the people want?
A passport is among the important documents that gives people the freedom of movement. However, printing of the travel documents has been hampered by lack of foreign currency. Kudzai Gumbo, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, the Ministry of Health and Childcare says to date, Zimbabwe has not had any confirmed cases of the COVID-19. In a statement, Health and Childcare Permanent Secretary Dr. Agnes Mahomva said All identified cases have been appropriately followed up, tested, as well as found to be negative for the COVID-19. Dr. Mahomva said preparedness measures have been stepped up through heightened surveillance systems at national, provincial, as well as a district level, with specific focus on all ports of entry throughout the country. She said apart from government efforts to strengthen Zimbabwe's fight against the spread of COVID-19, the Ministry of Health continues to be guided by the World Health Organization guidelines and advised on surveillance follow-up and case management. Dr. Mahomva, however, advises the public not to be guided by unofficial reports.
Now, meanwhile, the Southern African Development Community, SADC, says it has put on hold all events until further notice when the coronavirus situation has normalized. In a statement, the SADC Secretariat said it recognizes that the timing of this decision may pose an inconvenience to many. However, the decision has been put out of profound concern for the health and well-being of SADC citizens. The Secretariat added that to balance the SADC critical work and health concerns for everyone, they are exploring video conferencing and teleconferencing when they can. And now, as the country joins the rest of the world in commemorating International Women's Day, the Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Dr. Sithembiso Nyoni, says her ministry will continue to firmly position itself to ensure social protection and access to public services by women and girls. Addressing a press conference in the capital today, Dr. Nyoni revealed that the national celebrations of the International Women's Day will be held in Masvingo province later this month under the theme Beijing Plus 25, the journey towards women empowerment in Zimbabwe, success and challenges. Let's hear what she had to say.
The international theme for this year's celebrations is Each for Equal, which is a call for member states to come up with practical ways to advance gender equality and the empowerment of women. This gives focus to areas of work, access to resources, and public services, as well as participation in decision making. Women and girls face multiple and interacting forms of marginalization across sectors due to the gender power relations. To that end, my ministry firmly positions itself to ensure social protection systems, access to public services, and sustainable infrastructure are holistically addressed in order to assist women.
The Islamic community has joined the global campaign to celebrate the achievements of women and exploring the ways of empowering the girl child. Let's get more details on that story.
The Islamic community commitment to focus on empowering women as well as facilitating equal treatment on roles and responsibilities with men was under spotlight as the institution joined the rest of the world in celebrating International Women's Day on Sunday. The community believes in the equal value and importance of women, girls, men and boys to society.
Tinoriona sezuva rakakosha kune vadzimai akati wandei, asi isusu semamuslims harinyanyoti bata zvakanyanya nokuti kodzero dzedu semadzimai echimuslims tinadzo kudhara, takadzipiwa naAllah nekuuya kwakaita Islam mu7th century.
Dr. Virginia Dube Mawerewere from the University of Zimbabwe College of Health Sciences said on the sidelines of the celebrations, the community is also embracing projects to make sure girls and boys, women and men get the quality education and training they need to make a better life for themselves.
Tikuona ku iri nyaya yekuda kusimudzira mikana pakati pemadzimai nevanhu vechirume, mikana pakuti tiwaniswe mikana yakaenzana kumabasa, mikana yekuti tipiwo maresources anoenderanawo neanowanikwa nevanhu vechirume, tichikwanisawo kuti tisimudzire nyika tese. Nokuti tsvagurudzo dzakaitwa pasi rese dzakaratidza kuti kana tikasimudzira munhu wemukadzi zvinosimudzirawo economic growth yenyika yenyika dzavanenge vari.
The International Women's Day, which is held on the 8th of March, is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
As we continue to focus on the celebrations of the International Women's Day, the Red Cross Society took its medical outreach to the community of Glenview, where hundreds of people received free medical services today. Let's get the details.
Residents from Glenview suburb received a wide range of free medical services and medication courtesy of the Zimbabwe Red Cross Society Medical Outreach Program. The services provided include dental, radiology, breast and cervical cancer screening, among others. Women who spoke to ZBC News applauded the initiative, which seek to address their health needs.
Semadzimai tinotenda chaizvo kuti zvakatikoshera kuti vamwe vedu tinoremerwa kuti hatina mari kana kuti pamwe handino mwana anondibatsira kuti andipo mari yekuti ndinorapwa kana unotenga mishonga. Saka izvi chirongwa chakanaka chaizvo. Tafara nacho kuti pamwe tinobatsirwawo nhasi sitati tichishaya mari dzekunotenga mishonga.
Vati vana vadiki vazhinji vazere nechimaflu ende kukura kwemwana vanotiudza kuti mwana wangu anokura neutano hwake hwakamira sei, zvirwere zviri paari zvakamira sei.
Chinotibatsirawo vose vanhu vari kurwara mudzimba umu ende hatisi kukwanisa kuenda kuchipatara nenhau dzemari.
Red Cross Clinic practitioner in charge, Dr. Joel Tapi, said the initiative is part of the International Women's Day commemorations.
Zikupa maservices akasiyana-siyana. Kune kuonekwa kwanachiremba pachena, vane matambudziko emazino, tinavo vanoita nezvemazino kubvisa, kungave kuri kudzidzisiwa, zvekarewo nekuti izuva revanhukadzi takatarisawo zvekare nenyaya dzekuskrinwa kwebreast cancer. Saka masikana ari kuitwa ipo pano, zvekarewo kuskrinwa kwekensa yechibereko kuvanhukadzi vese kuri kuitwa ipo panapa. Mishonga iri kupiwa zvekare pachena.
The Zimbabwe Red Cross Society is a medical social enterprise which seeks to give quality but affordable medical and pharmaceutical services to those in the low and middle income communities. Festus Mkungurudze, ZBC News, Harare.
In our next story, the water hyacinth at Lake Chivero is said to be an unexplored resource that can be used to manufacture fertilizer and stock feed. Now, this comes as the city fathers are crying foul over the water hyacinth at the lake. Kodzai Gumbo gives us that story.
Water hyacinth has over the years been viewed as a troublesome weed that competes for nutrients and oxygen, thereby affecting biodiversity. An agronomist, Mr. Ivan Craig, says there are a lot of unexplored resources that people need to take advantage of. The water hyacinth can be used to manufacture organic fertilizers, ethanol and biogas, among other uses.
There are quite several uses of that weed. If I were the city council or the city fathers, I would float a tender to say to all the people who have got ideas on the best use of that weed, please come up with your ideas and project proposals, because there is a lot which you can derive from that weed. You know, if we are looking at agriculture, we are looking at stock feed. We can manufacture stock feed out of that. We can manufacture fertilizer out of that. We can also get biogas from that, and also fuel, you know, ethanol. We can still get ethanol from that weed. And again, you find there is a lot which we can get from that. Agriculturally, you can use it as a mulch as well. So it is a multi-use weed, which when we try to exploit, you find that there will be more advantages than disadvantages.
The water hyacinth has been responsible for causing decline in biodiversity and deterioration of aquatic environment and spread of diseases that affect human health. In Zimbabwe, it has resulted in contaminated fish at Lake Chivero. However, technology can transform this weed into a lifetime investment. Kudzai Gumbo, ZBC News, Harare.
This year's cotton output is set to double last year's yields as plants have recorded over double bore plants following good rains received since the beginning of this year, coupled with the timely disbursement of inputs by the government and developmental partners. Our reporter Data Farah Chukumira was in the Midlands province and filed the following report.
This year's cotton crop, which has reached the peak boiling stage, is showing signs of a possible good yield as each plant is having an average of 9 balls per plant, almost double the average of 4 balls per plant that was experienced last year. An agronomist, Mr. Jacob Chibanda, says the number of balls could even increase if the current rains continue beyond March.
As compared to last season, tikutarisira kuti mvura yakaramba ichinaya zvokuti ichasvika mid March maball count yedu anogona kureza up to 15-16 zvichienderana nenzvimbo.
Farmers say had it not been for lack of rains on the onset of the rain season, they expected a bumper harvest of the white gold.
Takawaniswa mafertilizer nembeu nenguva yakakodzera asi zuva rakazomboti pisei pakazopisa zuva mvura payakazouya mbeu dzedu dzakabva dzaita zvakanaka.
Kuti dai mwaka wanga wakwanisa kuti urambe uchiita zviri nani usewe watoda kutanga unoteverawo makambani edu atibatsire sekutibatsira kwaari kuitawo ikoko nezvishoma zvaanazvo izvozvo zvogona kutibatsira kuti tinge tichikwanisa kurima donje redu zvakasimba.
Zimbabwe Cotton Consortium business manager Mr. Gift Chaitezvi, whose organization complemented government's presidential input scheme through provision of inputs to farmers, urged investors to help government in turning around the country's economic fortunes.
Chakatisunda kuona nyika yedu kuti inoda mapartners anobatsirana nehurumende kuti zvinhu zviende patakatarisira. Saka sekambani takauyawo nechirongwa chekupa mainputs pachena kuvarimi. Takatarisira kuti tisimudze nyika yedu sezvo tichida kuwana foreign currency kubva nedzimwe nyika dzinenge dzichitenga product yedu yatinoproducer kuno.
While there are signs that this year's harvest will double the 15,000 tons of the white gold realized last season, there are fears that the outbreak of the coronavirus in China could have an impact on the marketing of the crop, as the Asian giant is one of the biggest importers of cotton. Tafara Chikumira, ZBC News, Gokwe.
Zimbabwe and India continue to strengthen cooperation in the medical and pharmaceutical sectors, with the country expected to receive increased supply of medicines from the Asian country. Let's get more details.
Indian ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Ringsangwa Sahwi, who recently visited Mutare to meet medical specialists who took part in the medical mission which ended on Saturday in Manicaland province, says Zimbabwe will receive medicines valued around $2 million United States dollars within 2 months in fulfillment of the pledge by his country's vice president 2 years ago. The Indian ambassador to Zimbabwe revealed that so far Zimbabwe has received drugs worth 300,000 United States dollars, while the remainder is now on its way from India.
300,000 worth medicine have come in 2019, and as we speak, the 3 tranches of those 2 million medicines are on the way. First, the dispatch has been made. I think the second also has been made. And a chunk, which is the third tranche, which is of 1.6 million, is in the process of obtaining, and that will be dispatched in another month or 2.
The Indian ambassador to Zimbabwe says over and above the donation, negotiations are underway between the Ministry of Health and Child Care and Indian health agencies to increase the supply of medicines from the Asian country on affordable rates, while some Indian citizens are set to run a hospital in Bulawayo as part of the growing cooperation.
There has been a talk going on, the negotiation going on between Ministry of Health and agencies in India, so that there is a sustained supply of medicines at the cheaper rate from India to Zimbabwe. As far as the hospital facilities are concerned, I know the Eco-Colony in Bulawayo, where Indian party has been awarded to come in and run that hospital.
Apart from the health and pharmaceuticals, India and Zimbabwe have decided to further enhance their cooperation in priority areas that include infrastructure, small and medium enterprises, and information communication technologies.
The Sunday edition is off to a break. Don't go away. When we come back, we will be giving you more updates on the COVID-19 across the country.
Every living thing on Earth will be affected by climate change, and it is normal for climate to change over time and space. Now in Zimbabwe, our rainfall varies depending on the time of the year. Some years are wet, while others are characterized by drought. Now this makes it difficult for those who depend on the rain to plan their activities and to succeed.
Saka wakaposheni kedu akatakazosiya vatakachijara bhinzi zedu tiwanewo mbeu asi zuva rakarova kubva dzibude idzi asari dzanaiwa ndiwo mvura yekutonaya kozvinezvi yanaya ikozvino.
Sustain is a brand new television show in which we seek answers and inspiration that help us to live a more sustainable life and to preserve our ecosystems, our environment, and everything around us for the benefit of future generations. Join us for the first season, a brand new season of sustainability. This is Sustain for future generations.
When you wake up in the morning before you start your day, for your work, for your school, for your great start to your day. Breakfast time is sunny time.
I eat sunny for breakfast. It keeps me full of energy. It's tasty and nutritious. If in school it seems so easy. Breakfast time is sunny time.
Start your day with a tasty, nutritious Sunny breakfast, powered with the goodness of grains and essential vitamins and minerals, available in different flavors. Sunny makes a great tasting breakfast for all of us. Breakfast time is Sunny time.
If you're confused about healthcare, it's easier to put your trust in us, where every contribution is secure and you can be sure that your membership card will be accepted. So relax, you're in safe hands with us. With access to world-class medical providers, little to no shortfalls, and free iGo membership for all our seamless members. Join us today. Together, we make a difference.
What did I tell you, Babatino? Exactly the same as the last one.
Maitino. Tanga zikwambo muno yokuche chipese pese.
I don't want to only Babatino. How can you replace a car with less than 48 hours? Zikwambo. Kova sei kova rwene.
My car was replaced in 48 hours with no additional charges. Be safe. Think insurance. Think Safo.
Safo Insurance, when real insurance matters.
Nice bucket, boss. Boss? Me? Maybe I am the boss. Let's be successful. Cancel the meeting. We need to talk.
What would you like to talk about?
The new Streetwise Bucket for One. It's finger-licking good.
I was born in Africa. Africa was born in me. My language is my identity. The drumbeat sound of my freedom. It's the beauty of my existence, the expression of my passion, my dreams, my love, my pride. I am the future, the hope of my continent. I am uniquely and wonderfully African. I speak African.
Sasai gives you the freedom to truly express yourself with Translate. Find your mother language on the app and let's celebrate the beauty of the African tongue. Sasai, you've got the power.
A warm welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. You can always catch us on our social media platforms. Most activity is done on our Facebook page, ZBC News Online, as well as Twitter at ZBC News Online. Your views and comments are always welcome. As long as you tell us where you are streaming live from. Zandile, we also have a website?
Absolutely. You can also catch us on our website, www.zbcnews.co.zw.
Indeed, and today we are celebrating International Women's Day. Zandile, a lot of activities going on across the country.
It's actually been a very busy weekend. Lots of activities going on. I attended a few. Got to see a couple of ladies who were sharing powerful stories about their trials and tribulations and how they've overcome them. So really excited about that. And some from young foundations that are training young women in terms of business, how to basically use their hands and become economically independent. So
Indeed. It's always good to empower the girl child as well as the women. And now in our next story?
In our next story, a Marondera family has lodged a complaint with the Ministry of Health and Childcare alleging negligence by nurses at Nyameni Clinic, which resulted in the death of their newborn baby. Let's get more details.
The Gumbochuma family from Marondera is up in arms against nurses at Nyameni Clinic, alleging negligence when their daughter-in-law gave birth unattended, which they say resulted in the death of the baby. Princess Kwenamo, who is the mother of the child, narrated her ordeal, which saw her giving birth on the floor unattended.
Ndakavadaidzira ndikati pane zvanyanya pane chibaluma chapo chakuda kubuda saka ndikati zvanzvonzvo ausati wakutomuda tisozvo ne 3 cm chika kuti nisa princess ndo vanabva nangogara pasi pasina maminisi ndichivadaidzira mwana bva buda vangu nekana mwana atopasa tobuda atopa chichari akumberi kwangu saka wakazonzwa mwana akuchema akatombochema about 5 minutes achichema ndopo wakazobelieve kuti mwana mchecha kuchema ndopo wakazomanya kutora magloves awo kupfeka magloves tuku apa mwana anga ari muropa nemvura ari pasarane one side.
All the mother and their relatives demand is justice.
Staff yepaNyameni Clinic nema sister in charge vaifanira kuuya kwatiri tine uromba ana amai nezvinhu zvakadi zvamakasangana nazvo.
They were supposed to apologize because tiri vanhu teseka saka kana wakakanganisira munhu uno apologize but havana kumbobvira. Even up to now they are not admitting kuti vane zvavakakanganisa.
Mashonaland East Provincial Medical Director Dr. Simka Izijou confirmed receiving the complaint and said they have since directed Marondera District to investigate the issue and come up with findings. Dr. Zijou added that from what was in the letter of complaint, the clinic did not follow procedure as the patient should have been referred to Marondera Provincial Hospital as per standard procedure on all those having first deliveries. Gerald Sasa, ZBC News, Marondera.
A very sad story indeed. Heartfelt condolences to the family in Marondera there. And our government has challenged small and medium enterprises, the SMEs, to pool resources together and form big companies in order to grow their businesses and have better financial returns. Our next report.
Manikaland Clothing Cluster that was formed by tailors in Mutare who pooled resources together to form a clothing company received a major boost after attracting support from UNDP through the Ministry of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development. Chairperson of the cluster, Brighton Jokwawa, says the company greatly improved its capacity and managed to generate almost $52,000 within 3 months.
Takakwanisa kuraise mari inoita 51,000 per 3 months kubva December, January na February takaita 51,932 then tikasara tine profit ye 19,705.55.
Inclusive Growth and Sustainable Livelihoods Projects Coordinator Betera Zemba says the cluster was capitalized to the tune of $60,000, while chairperson of the Chamber of SMEs in Manicaland, Moses Mwagura, says such joint ventures are the quickest way of graduating SMEs into big businesses.
We've provided a machinery with $60,000 machinery that is individuals will not have been able to access, but because
when we put our resources in a pool, we will have a lot of advantage in terms of commanding the market and also encouraging market linkages. And also, if you put your resources together, you can negotiate with the supplier and get some discounts.
Minister of Women Affairs, Communities, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Dr. Stemzonyoni, says your ministry is ready to assist such business ventures as it takes a deliberate stance to promote SMEs' growth.
We are trying through the ministry to make sure that women move from small to medium to large factories. And this is an example of what people can do, especially if they pull their resources together. If you come together like these ones have done in a cluster and you pull your resources together, the ministry is there to help you.
With the Zimbabwean economy being largely depending on the informal sector and small to medium enterprises, supporting their growth is expected to increase the number of locally owned large companies in the near future. Kenya Sifuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
Sunday edition takes a short break. Please stay with us.
As old as mankind, traditional medicines have stood the test of time. Msimboti offers essential remedies of African tradition with a modern feel.
Msimboti is brand yemishonga yemuno mu Zimbabwe.
We have solutions for all your health problems, be it burning feet, stomach or eye problems.
Nyama drinking more than 20 years in the market, vanhu vanovimba nayo. Tine combination yavo mama nayo mishonga inofarwa nevanhu vakawanda uyezve tine combination yavo baba.
It's affordable too.
Ngobuningi siyathumezela imithi yethu lapha abantu bangasifakela kuWhatsApp sila ukuthi sibathumezele idatha zethu.
Come talk to our qualified consultants at Corner 9th Avenue and Robert Mugabe Way, Bulawayo.
Msimboti, understanding my culture, preserving my heritage. Impilo, upenyu.
Benz Valley Motors Private Limited. For all your Mercedes-Benz diagnosis, transmission, servicing and spares. We have the latest service kits, fuel pumps, shock absorbers, suppressors, water pumps, bonnet star emblems, gearbox gasket sets, ignition coils, head gaskets, lower control arms. Visit our workshop at the Motor City Complex along Seke Road, Granite Side, Harare. Or call us on 0772 338 670 or 0772 870 141. Benz Valley Motors. Drive with confidence.
Don't play games with me. Iwe, wakandipa mwana wako iwe. Takawirirana tiri vaizvi ndizvo zvese zvandakaita waizviziva.
Ndoda kuti undivimbise chinowani. Kuti uchasara uchichengeta musha wese uno kana chinge ndafa inini. Kusei muri kutaura zvekufa. Mwanangu, rufu rwakagara ruripo hazvinzvengeke.
Maiguru, mukati hamushurimi. Iwa aya masalad cream aya. Mabiscuits aya. Ekuti munhu anoenda kutoilet one day zvapera izvi. Tetekani. Maiguru, maspaghetti nemaraisi aya. Ndiwa mukachirombese mwana. Teteka. Usati tetekani. Imi maiguru mpa muchite muri mwenyu. Munoda kuudzwa imi. Kurombesa mwana. Aiwa wadzorera zinga ngwapa.
Patirira mwananguka. Ipo mwananguka. Komera uripo.
Mati
tinobemba nje. Yo, hey! Wait up! Leonardo, they're good. Yes. So I'm going to reach out to my get a man that's so yes.
ndikuchaisa mhlaka 14 March nekuvhotera candidate yeZANU-PF ukuvhotera icandidate yeZANU-PF chikonzero chokuvhotera ZANU-PF izizathu zokuti tivhotere iZANU-PF ndechekuti ZANU-PF inomirira development kuti ZANU-PF yona imele idevelopment wakavhotera imwe yepati isiri ZANU-PF ungavhotera ipati yazo ZANU-PF uri kuwesta vhoti nekuti hapana unokuvhotera vanhu vemahumbu ubaba president uti yena noba indlala ikhona akuda muntu oza kufa ebulawa indlala elizweni la ubaba umnanga uti yena akuda muntu oza kufa.
A suspected Bulawayo illegal foreign currency dealer was shot and killed on Thursday evening at a local hotel.
According to a report from the CID homicide Bulawayo, Madawa Mapako, 48 from Cowdrey Park, was allegedly murdered in cold blood by robbers at Continental Lodge in suburbs Bulawayo. It is believed that on Thursday, 5 March, around 18:30 hours, Mr. Mapako went to a local hotel in the company of his girlfriend Sugoluhle Sibanda. After spending about 30 minutes at the lodge, they went to the car as they planned to drive out. As Mr. Mapako tried to open the door, he was attacked by unknown robbers. It is alleged that the robber shot him on the chest, and when Mapako fell down, 2 more attackers emerged from behind the car and ordered Sugoluhle out. They searched the car and later drove off in a getaway white Nissan double cab with no number plates. Although the total amount stolen from the murdered Mapako is yet to be ascertained, the victim had a small bag tied around his waist containing 20,000 rands and 65 Zimbabwe dollars.
Government says as part of the revival and recapitalization of the National Railways of Zimbabwe, it is considering various models on the proposed separation of the state-owned enterprise business units.
Responding to a question during the recently held Infrastructure Summit and Expo in Victoria Falls on whether government is still pursuing the unbundling of NRZ, Transport and Infrastructure Development Minister Honorable Joel Bigimatisa said government is in the process of assessing various models on the separation of the parastatals business units.
Yes, there is a separation in NRZ, the question of separation of the real estate, the track, and the rolling stock. Whether we should do this. Yes, as I said, we are putting up in terms of reference to look into the various models which were split into the rails were split into various sections. But you see, it's not, well, that's what we're going to do. But it's also, on the other hand, I visited Ethiopia and the airlines last week. They do all things, national handling, cargo, and many other facets and now they're taking the airports. The airline is taking the airports. So it's almost like reversing what so it's a management issue. But we definitely are now in the process of making terms of reference from which we will then come up with a proper model, as I said.
Some analysts have argued that unbundling of NRZ by creating 3 units, that is the rolling stock, a track and the real estate, will enhance viability, while others have called for caution, arguing that the move will increase the entity's overheads. Meanwhile, NRZ board chairperson Advocate Martin Lina highlighted that apart from rolling out an ambitious commuter service in major cities, the Parasito is eyeing regional services with Harare Beira as well as Gaborone Harare services set to resume soon.
We have formed synergies. Last week we were meeting in Bhutan with the Indonesian ambassador to try to open up the Beira corridor for more business. We have ambitious plans to reintroduce passenger train services between Harare and Beira. Course of next week, we are also opening a new avenue with Botswana Railways to enable movement of our people from Gaborone to Harare. We have an ambitious commuter service program meant for our major cities, Harare and Bulawayo, which will be unveiling soon as National Railways of Zimbabwe.
The National Railways of Zimbabwe, which has an installed design capacity to move 18 million tons of freight per annum, has struggled to operate at optimal level, with freight volume reaching a mere 2.8 million tons in 2019. Government has, however, prioritized the turnaround of the strategic entity through securing of partners for the upgrade of rail infrastructure and acquisition of wagons as well as locomotives. Lakmo Safulis, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
The Zimbabwe National Road Administration says it is budgeting around 700 million Zimbabwean dollars for disbursements towards road construction works from the targeted 1.2 billion Zimbabwean dollars revenue collections in 2020, as the administration seeks to play a major role in revamping of the country's road network.
The Parasito, which is responsible for management and development of Zimbabwe's national road network, is optimistic of enhancing revenue collections with a view to augment treasury in financing road construction works across the country. Zinara board chairperson Engineer Michael Madana said the Parasito is targeting to disperse around 700 million Zimbabwean dollars towards road construction and rehabilitation in 2020, with the major priority project being the Harare-Bide Bridge Road.
2020 is going to be a very busy year, and as Zinara, our strategic goal is to ensure that we provide adequate funding to all our road authorities so that at least we augment what Treasury is also giving. So we actually increased the amount of money that is destined for road construction this year.
For 2020, the government department is also targeting to ensure that 20 kilometers of any identified road in each province is tarred. Addressing delegates at the recently held Infrastructure Summit in Victoria Falls, Transport and Infrastructure Development Minister Joe Bigimatisa said government is pleased with improved Zinara revenue inflows.
What we did is to make sure we reorganize the fund, the management, and make sure that it sticks to its core mandate. And we are quite pleased now with the inflows of funds that are coming from there so that they can be channeled to the right areas of road rehabilitation.
As part of the 5-year strategy, which runs until 2023, the Road Fund has also prioritized strengthening of corporate governance and intensifying efforts to plug revenue leakages. A vibrant road network and sound infrastructure base is being viewed as critical in the attainment of targets under Vision 2030. Lakmo Safulis, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Regional and international news is up next. South Africa's Health Minister Zweli Mkhize says government is following up with the South Korean authorities about a South African teacher who has tested positive for coronavirus in the city of Daegu. The 39-year-old man was due to return to South Africa but has since remained in South Korea. Minister Mkhize has reiterated his call for calm and cooperation from the public and the media to ensure that privacy of patients and their families are respected. Earlier, it was reported that a Gauteng woman tested positive for the coronavirus. Health Minister confirmed the 39-year-old woman had direct contact with the man from Hilton in KwaZulu-Natal who also tested positive for coronavirus. Both returned to South Africa on the 1st of this month. We move on to Italy, where that country has placed up to 16 million people under quarantine as it battles to contain the spread of coronavirus. Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte also announced the closure of schools, gyms, museums, nightclubs and other venues across the whole country. The measures, the most radical taken outside China, will last until the 3rd of April. Italy has seen the largest number of coronavirus infections in Europe, with the number of confirmed cases jumping by more than 1,200 to 583 yesterday. To 5,883 yesterday. The death toll in Italy has passed 230, with officials reporting more than 36 deaths in 24 hours. And now we're off to a break. To stay tuned for more news coming through from Pocket Hill Studios in Harare. I'm Marilyn Gwenya from myself and the Montrose crew. Good evening.
Investments, Simbia Copa Steelmate. Best for all your steel requirements in the building and construction industry. Steelmate will always be your perfect choice for affordable and quality products ranging from deformed bars, square tubes and bars, angle iron, mesh wire and roofing sheets. We cut your order to your specifications. Contact our sales team now on 0736 439 999. Steelmate Investments, your friend in steel.
This is Face the Nation, our hard-hitting current affairs show that gives you, the audience, a front row seat to some of the nation's hottest conversations. Join me every Wednesday live at 6:30 p.m. on ZBC TV or via our Facebook online stream. This is where I'll be discussing with some of our leaders, legislators on some of the issues that are affecting us the most in Zimbabwe. This is Face the Nation.
Welcome back, and many thanks to Marilyn Gwenya for giving us those stories from a part of the country. And now straight into our business report. The government has expressed concern over a disturbing trend in which the domestic tourism is being underutilized despite vast attractive resort areas across the country. Our business report tonight.
Zimbabwe, like other developing economies the world over, is taking seriously the need for locals to become a key market player within the domestic tourist resorts, hotels, recreational facilities, and national parks, among others. However, there is a downward trend in terms of the local market share, a move that is being attributed to prevailing macroeconomic challenges. The low activity within the domestic tourism sector was confirmed by the Minister of Environment, Climate Change, Tourism and Hospitality Industry, Honorable Mangaliso Ndlovu, while calling for a concerted stakeholder approach in tapping the underutilized but viable domestic market.
We believe that the more we visit, the more occupancies for our lodges, for our hotels there are. So that's why we want to try and encourage that people visit. We need to say once a month or once every 2 months, let me go and see a place that I've never visited. You will be surprised that even from within your own town, city, or province. There are so many places that you have never been to. And the more we appreciate the beauty of our country, the more we'll speak positively about our nation. Zimbabweans can change the image out there about their own country.
Findings from a tourism sector study reveals that its revival depends on the government and private sector ability to offer attractive packages at affordable charges. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, the private sector has made a call for a multi-sectoral approach to sustain government's efforts in rebranding the country, as this will bolster the country's global impact. Let's get more details on the next report.
Speaking on the sidelines of the Harare Business Forum, which was held on Friday, Chief Executive Officer and founder of MegaFest Business Zimbabwe, Dr. Tendai Matsika, said country rebranding is beyond politics and all players should be on board if the nation is to succeed.
The issue of brand in Zimbabwe has become bigger than the political world. It's now a legacy issue. All of us are going to be outlived by Zimbabwe, which means our children are going to take over and their children's children as well. But above everything else, what is Zimbabwe going to be able to carry and bring for them? It is now very, very important now that, look, we now need to think about the future. And the future depends on the quality of the products and services that we are going to give out to the international world. But up and above that, the culture of the people to become dependable, honest, and thriving and disruptive as well, to become global players. So as entrepreneurs, it is high time as well that we produced quality service, quality product that can be compared to anyone else and everyone else in the world.
Media organizations were urged to move from pessimistic reporting about the country as they play a pivotal role in building the national brand. Zimbabwe will benefit immensely from a rebranding exercise, as a good brand has potential to boost the country's global impact.
And that's a wrap in our Sunbiz tonight. We now take a look what's happening in our science and technology feature with the solar cooker invention coming up next.
An innovative Chitungwiza student has invented a solar cooker made from metal sheet, aluminium, and a lid made of glass. This in our science and technology.
Student who invented the solar cooker, 25-year-old Tapio Kwaramba, says his idea was motivated by the desire to help people in the face of regular power cuts.
This angle, like this division, that's where the battery it will be. And this side, if you check at the back, right, there's that's where we have our Agaya JSON innovations inside there, right? That's where you put your solar charger, right? And on the top, there's elements.
Kwaramba, who recently graduated with a diploma in electrical engineering at a local college, says the solar cooker can produce heat of between 82 and 121 degrees Celsius and has an external power charger.
The switch starts from 0, obvious, to 6, right? So here's the elements. After it's charged, that's where you switch it on. Then the element will start heating up. Then you place your pot on the top, then you are starting cooking. Yeah. So after you're done cooking, maybe you forgot to switch it on off. After you close this lid, it will switch it by itself. Yeah. So it's something that is also totally safe for the children.
Kwaramba says the cooker is special because it generates extreme heat very fast.
When the elements are heated, this reflector, it also brings the heat on the pot to support or like any type of pot, right? Because obviously there's 3 elements. So these 3 elements, they're supported by this reflection.
According to Kwaramba, with resources available, it takes only 3 hours to produce the unit, and they appealed for support to have capacity to produce the model for households.
For the massive production, I guess it will be totally cheap, because obviously we'll buy a lot of materials on a cheap price. It will be different on when you are making one. So maybe a day we can make something like 1,000 if we do have a sponsor or an investor.
While this simple invention has turned out to be of great help as a solution to power cuts, the cooker apparently is cheaper and environmentally friendly. Grema Piri, ZBC News, Chitungwiza.
The preceding segment was brought to you by Africa.
Great inventions coming out there, very exciting, coming through from our Zimbabweans. First a helicopter, a bicycle, now a solar cooker. Very exciting indeed. And now we get straight into the wonderful world of sport. Now today, Zimbabwean Prisons and Correctional Services Athletes Club athlete Jonathan Chinyoka sealed back-to-back marathon wins after powering to glory in the CBZ Marathon today.
The 2020 edition of the CBZ Marathon sparked excitement with a field of more than 1,700 athletes lining up. Comrades Marathon winner Edward Motibi was among those that were vying for pole position. In the 42-kilometer event, Jonathan Chinyoka led from the start as he sought to maintain form exhibited at the Old Mutual Marathon last month. Despite stiff competition, Chinyoka finished in pole position after registering a time of 2 hours 18 minutes, with Prosper Mutwira coming second with a time of 2 hours 23 minutes. In third place was Tawanda Vunzawabaya. In the 21-kilometer men's race, Abel Shibanda claimed pole position. Also to claim back-to-back wins was Olivia Chitate, who reigned supreme in the ladies category, finishing ahead of Faith Nyasango. In the 21-kilometer ladies race, Patience Murove scooped gold after finishing ahead of Miriam Sibanda. Winners of the 42-kilometer and 21-kilometer men's races, Jonathan Chinyoka and Abel Chibanda, were both elated to scoop gold at the second edition of the CBZ Marathon.
Ndichinyanya kutenda vakuru kubasa kwangu ku Zimbabwe Prison and Correctional Service vari kutipa mukana wekuti tiwanike tichikwanisa kutraina zvakanyanya tichibuditsa maresults akanaka zvakadai so saka ndo vandoda kunyanya kutenda panguva ine ndokuti vari kutigonera zvakanyanyisa at least ukana ivo kwavari vachitiona so vachiona kuti vana vedu vari kuita basa aka zvinova vanonzwawo kufara zvakanyanya
ndikunzwa kufara zvisingaite zvakanyanya nekuti handina hangu kunyatso prepare zvakanaka zotemza ndamhanya nhasi so ndandichiexpect 103 but ndazomhanya 104.
With Olympic qualification on the minds of many of Zimbabwe's long-distance runners, focus is now set to shift to the Two Oceans and Comrades Marathon as athletes seek to register qualifying times. Francis Nyamtsamba, ZBC News, Harare.
Still on the CBZ Marathon, Fossil Agro today lit up at the 2020 Marathon after putting up a glamorous stand which provided relief for the athletes that competed in the 42, 21 and 10-kilometer events. Let's take a look.
The CBZ Marathon held this Sunday provided plenty of excitement for athletes and spectators, but one of the key highlights was the liveliness at the Fossil Agro stand, where after several kilometers of running, athletes were provided with a cool atmosphere coupled with inspiring entertainment to keep them going. Consistent supply of refreshments and nutritional substances gave athletes an opportunity of regaining some lost energy as Fossil Agro sought to help steer runners towards the finish line.
We are very excited as Fossil Agro that in our small way we've actually contributed to such a big day. The athletes look strong, they are happy, and there's lots of water, there's lots of nutrition, there's lots of food. So we're really excited to have been a part of this, and well done to CBZ.
Being a long-term partner of CBZ, Fossil Agro said maintaining close relations with CBZ and fostering a healthy lifestyle are among key reasons which stimulated the agrochemicals distribution group into engaging in such a partnership.
The CBZ Marathon 2020 edition provides an opportunity for us to maybe participate in an aspect of life and business that we are very passionate about, which is the well-being of people. So events like this, as you can see, encourage good health.
We believe that a well-fed nation and a healthy nation leads to a prosperous nation. So we are quite excited.
Apart from the health benefits associated with such an event, Fossil Agro Chief Operations Officer Taurai Mudzura expressed satisfaction to be part of an event which plays an important role in the development of local athletes.
It's a wonderful opportunity to be able to contribute in some way in their development, in some way in their success. You know, what little way we can. You know, just trying to seeing people push themselves to the limit, it will inspire even the younger generations. So for us, really, it's inspiring to us to see these amazing athletes doing things that we can only dream of. But they are people just like us, and what more, they are compatriots. You know, it makes us proud as a nation when they achieve great things, and to know that we've contributed even in a small way.
Outside this line of business, associating with sport is also emerging as an area of interest for Fossil Agro, which has clearly set out objectives of playing a huge role in ensuring food security is attained.
One of our main objectives is to contribute to sustainable food security, and we believe we are doing this through the provision of unique smart farming solutions.
Fossil Agro began operations in 2016, supplying various chemicals in the agriculture value chain, namely herbicides, fungicides, insecticides, and nematicides. Francis Nyamtsamba, ZBC News, Harare.
Francis Nyamtsamba, they're putting a cap on sports, but we've come to the end of Sunday edition. Was that still running?
I was about to ask the same question. I'm like, okay, fine. If I've been running 42 kilometers, would I be able to do the washo? Just like this.
Dancing under the water there. Well, it's a wrap from myself, Liam Bernard. Will you be watching the video of the week, Sanjila?
The video of the week comes from Sebastian Magacha, and it's called Chamnyurududu.
Chamnyurududu, indeed. Let's take a look. Good night.
Good night. Pleasant viewing.
Jehovah, Ngithanda ukuthi ngibingelele uhlabezulu. Before independence, abantu besifazana bebengenelisi ukuthi benze lokho esikwenzayo. Look at what I am now. Yimi engiphethe idorobho la kwaBulawayo, iprovince ya kwaBulawayo as a minister of state. Singakatholi uzibuse bekungenzakali ebantwini besifazana. Ngithanda ukuthi ngibonge kakhulu abantu abenze umehluko omkhulu ebantwini besifazana. Ngiyakhumbula early 80s omama the late omama uDlula, the late abantu abanjengabo mama uSihwa, omama uLesabi, labanengi abenze umehluko, labo mama uGumede ebebeyibo bebesilwa belwela ilungelo labesifazana, labo mama okhethiwe Mhlanga benze umehluko omkhulu kakhulu. Lokho esesikho khona nje abantu besifazana kumele sibonge abantu abaqali besiziba. Thanda ukuthi ngibonge ngomsebenzi omkhulu owenziwa ngabantu abanjengobaba uJoshua Nkomo labanye bakhe abenza sakhululeka, ilizwe leZimbabwe lakhululeka. Siyabonga kakhulu ngomsebenzi owenziwa ngumdala, umsebenzi omuhle okuthi abone kufanele